I honestly think that we have a joint responsibility in the choices that we make as fashion designers and as fashion creatives. You might think that your small act, it's just small, it does not count. Everything compounds. And welcome back to the channel this week. My name is Priscilla. I'm a Nigerian women's wear designer, normally based in the UK, but I'm actually visiting Lagos at the moment. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing 5 things that you can do for your fashion business in the new year 2023, just to make it more sustainable. The fashion industry is the second highest polluting industry after fossil fuels, so it is actually serious. So if you'd like to find out what these tips are, make sure to keep on watching. If you know any other ways that we can make our fashion businesses more sustainable, please leave them in the comments section down below so we can have a conversation about it in a way that we can, implement and use for our businesses or our daily lives. So with that being said, let's get into this video. If you haven't subscribed already, this is your prompt to do so. Please hit subscribe down below. We're trying to grow the KDVAS farm to 500K in the new year. I know we can do this. I believe in you guys. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it, and let's get into this video. So there are 4 main pillars when it comes to sustainability. There is a human, social, economic, and environmental, if I remember correctly. And the one I'm going to be focusing on this video is the impact that fashion has on the environment. Now, the first tip that I have been trying to do, and I think we should all just, try and get into a little bit more, is to reduce the amount of fabric waste that you generate. Now, if you're someone who, when you go to buy fabrics, you just do an estimate when you're buying, I think it would be helpful to be more mindful when you go off to buy your fabric. Calculate and measure your patterns to get a better idea of the amount of fabric that you need. So when you go into the shops to buy it, you buy exactly how much that you need for your project. Tip number 2 is to find ways to upcycle your fabric scraps. I have a whole playlist on my channel about upcycling projects for homeware, clothing, accessories, and I plan to do more in the new year. So if you have any upcycling project ideas, please leave them in the comment section down below, because this is something that I enjoy naturally. I have 2 big baskets of fabric scraps in my studio, and every now and again I'll just go through them and think, oh, what can I make with these fabric scraps? I've made a pillow, I've made a beret, I've made a really nice maxi gown with patchwork. I made this really cool it was a fit and flare mini dress. I think it was at some point this year, and that just came out really nice. I have done a beautiful wall art, so please check out that playlist if you are looking for ideas of upcycling projects. But I always encourage people that use your fabric scraps, keep them if you can, and if you can't, find healthy and conscious ways to get rid of them rather than just tossing them in your bin. Now, tip number 3 is to swap out all your, poly-based mailers for eco-friendly packaging. This is something I've been trying to do for my ready-to-wear brand slowly and gradually over time. The mailers are cheaper. Let's be honest. Let's call it spade a spade. Those cheap and cheerful poly mailers that you can get a pack of 100 for less than £10. They're cheap and cheerful, but at the end of the day, when the customer gets the package, you basically just toss that in the bin, and that's waste that your business is indirectly generating. So if you can find biocompostable mailers or use paper, recyclable material kind of packaging materials, that way you are playing your own part in the amount of waste that your business is generating in terms of the packaging materials that you choose to use. I've done a video where I shared eco-friendly packaging. I think I did this in 2021. I'm going to link it here if you don't have an idea of where to shop eco-friendly packaging materials from. That should give you a better idea of where to find them. Next up is to be more conscious of the fabrics that you choose to work with. Sometimes it can't be helped. The fabric you really want has a very high polyester concentration and you can't really help it. But there's something about being conscious when you're actually going to look for fabrics. It's choosing to use fabrics that are good for your skin, and when they've been, you know, worn, used and tossed out, would actually be good for the environment as well. But I think it's just keeping it at the back of your mind. And something I know as a creative and as a human being is the kind of mindset and the thoughts you have at the beginning of your creating process is really important. If you are designing a garment and you are being conscious of the fact that, okay, I want to try and use like a nice cotton or a nice silk or a fabric that has a lower concentration of like a material that would not easily like decompose when it's tossed out, believe me, it actually affects your entire design process. Now, my final tip, and this is something that would not only save you money but reduce the amount of products that you have in your stock, is when you're creating your collections, when you're designing your pieces, whether it's made to measure, custom, whatever it is, I usually would advise people to make limited stock. Not only would it give the customer that, oh, there's only 10 of these made, I'm only one of the 10 people that would buy this, that exclusivity is there. The second thing is that you end up with way less stock at the end of the season or at the end of the year once you sold your pieces. So rather than just produce 50 or 100, you know, do like a limited like size run, and then if that is sold out, you can now do another like production batch again, rather than just do a lot, overproduce, and then you end up with a lot of sizes that you can't sell, and then that ends up, I don't know, cheaply sold in a landfill somewhere because you couldn't get rid of that during the season or during the year. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. These are things that I try to incorporate in my business to an extent, and I think going into the new year would just be useful to know and be aware of for your own business as well. If there's any other tips that I didn't mention down below in terms of making your business more eco-friendly and more sustainable, please leave them in the comment section down below so we can all learn and thrive together. I honestly think that we have a joint responsibility in the choices that we make as fashion designers and as fashion creatives. You might think that your small act, it's just small, it does not count. Everything compounds. If I do it, if somebody watching this video does it, if another person that sees you doing it does it, it's like a chain reaction, and that's something that I'm hoping that we can all do in the new year and in even future years to come. If you did enjoy watching this video, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know which other topics in terms of like sustainability in fashion that you want me to cover, or like upcycling projects that I should do in the new year. Please leave ideas down below and I would actually make that happen, because that's something that I think in the new year I want to do more like upcycling, sustainable fashion type projects, not just like sit down ones, more like, you know, going out, sourcing good fabrics, things like that. Leave your ideas or suggestions down below and we could make that happen. Until my next one, have a good morning, afternoon and evening wherever you are. Bye.